Hey everybody, it's Odd Dustin, and who would have thought that I would have got another reason to play Mortal Shell this year? I went through that game so quick. I loved every second of it, and here they released a surprise autumn update. Well, a surprise to me. They might have been hinting at it, but I haven't been watching Mortal Shell in a little bit. And they've got a new Rotten Autumn update, which has all kinds of new stuff. Let's take a look at the video real quick that they released and show you just a little bit of what they have in store for you for this autumn. Hell yes. Alright, so this free content drop is going to have 10 unique shell shades. So all of the different shells are going to have some unique shades for them. I'll show you here in a second how you go get those, or at least how I know how to get 2 of them. I haven't figured out how to get all of them yet. Just dropped this morning. There's a new mini quest, which I don't know if if there's more to it than what I'm already going to show you here in the next couple of seconds, but yeah, there's some stuff with Gorf, the frog, the giant frog. There's a powerful new photo mode, so you can stop the game mid-slash, or if you're getting hit by the boss and he's got fire blasting everywhere, you can hit it, hit pause, and zoom in and out. You got alternate boss fight soundtrack, which as of this recording, the Xbox version of the game is not loading the new death metal from a band called Rotting Christ. For some reason, I can't get it to download. I hit them up on Twitter. Hopefully, they'll get that fixed shortly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it this week. I wanted to show a little bit of game footage and kind of explain a little bit of what I figured out for Gorf and for getting some of the shells. If you are interested in seeing some of that, and keep watching. If you don't want the spoilers, you want to try to figure it out yourself, then I would stop the video here. But let's take a look at some of the footage of how you get at least 2 of the new shell shades that I was able to pick up. Alright, first thing right off the bat, you're going to have to update the game. If it doesn't update automatically, you go in there, manually update it. It's just about 3.9 gigs, a little bit under 4 gigs, so depending on your network speed, it might take you a little bit to download that update. Get that installed, and then head over to the Start menu. And on the Start menu, you'll see additional content where you can go in and select whether or not you want it enabled or disabled. So you can turn it on and off and it'll be there all the time from what they've said. This is not something that's going to be seasonal. It'll be there all the time. Currently, I'm having a trouble downloading the Rotten Christ music pack, but you can enable and disable the seasonal content there. And I'm hoping that they bring in some seasonal content for some of the other seasons, because they're not calling it Rotten Autumn. They said seasonal content, so I'm wondering if there's going to be some more, maybe for Christmas or for Valentine's Day, or who knows what in the future. One thing that I noticed in this update was I saw a lot more candles around lit on the ground, which I don't remember seeing, and there's pumpkins here and there. Sometimes the guys are wearing pumpkin on their head. You cannot smash the pumpkins, at least that I have found. These ones were the most durable pumpkins I've ever seen in my life. First thing I wanted to do was smash some pumpkins. I don't know if that's just me, but I wasn't able to. If you're new to the game, or if you haven't played in a while like I have, and you're trying to remember where's that frog guy, when you first leave the main area right here, Fulgrim, and you make a right, you come down and there's this jerk who sits down, a big guy. Take him out. Make a quick left from here and go into the swamp and just curve around and you'll find the frog. Here, I'll speed up the video so you can see how to get there. And here's Gorf. And Gorf wants to eat. He wants to eat food, and you know what I could figure out was right away, you know, you go there, you click on him. He doesn't just talk to you like he does usually. He says, hey, you want to feed me? And you can feed him some food. And I think I wasted some food because I gave him all of my rotten food thinking something was going to happen. And then the only thing that did happen was that I got my ass handed to me because I'm wearing a shell I'm not familiar with. But what you need to do is feed Gorf. So that's obvious when you go up to him. But what's not so obvious afterwards is that after you feed Gorf, you need to play your instrument. So you get down the lute, you sit down, you play it for him, but he has to have been properly fed. So I tried 2 of an item, I tried 3 of an item. I kept trying different items and feeding him, and it wasn't working, and I think I wasted a whole ton of food doing it. One thing you don't want to feed him is the roasted frogs. As soon as you do that, a whole bunch of frogs attack you. And of course, you don't want to feed a frog frogs. So, but what did work was, here, I'll show you what worked in a second. So what I did was I came back to the main center hub, and there's a vendor up here. Now, it's not the only vendor in the game. There's a couple other different places you can buy things, but he was convenient. And I came up here and I bought some food items from him and brought those back. So I took the roasted rat back over, and you know, he doesn't sell the rotten food, unfortunately, because I had already fed the rotten food. I think if I had maybe given one more rotten food, I might have been able to get a shell color that way, but I wasn't able to. So I bought the rats and went back with a different shell, and this is what happened. Okay, so I came to Gorf and I fed him some rats, and he already had rotten food in his belly, which reset, and I gave him 3 rats, and the music pretty much stopped. And then as I was giving him rats, I realized, that's kind of an odd thing. It reset the other one. It didn't give me anything else. I thought, okay, well, what am I doing wrong here? Give him a couple of more rats, get it up to 5 in his belly, and you can hear the music start to kick in. And I think that was kind of the cue that it's working. Something's happening right. I don't know what, but something's right, because that's different. I then equipped my lute to sit down and play him a tune, and this happened. There we go. We got the Yellow King Shade. And the Yellow King Shade applies directly to this shell only. So I figured out that the shades themselves are also shell specific. So once you get this, it doesn't open this shade for one of the other shells. It opens it for this specific one. So there's a lot of feeding you're going to have to do. I think there's probably different food types and things. I tried the mushrooms. He didn't want to eat any of the mushrooms. So I'm also not sure if maybe he's the only way that you can open shells. I think that that'll probably come out in the next few days. But currently, this is how I know you can get the Yellow King for Eredrim. And then also I've got the red skin, which I'll show you here in a second. So as Solomon, I came over here and I talked with Gorf, and I wasn't sure yet that you needed to feed him more than just a few things. I thought, well, maybe it'll work if you feed him just a couple things. Do not feed him frogs, because this happens. You get swamped by the frogs. Like, hey, what are you feeding a frog for? It's just like feeding Kermit some frog legs. But then once you feed him the adequate amount of the rats and play him also a lute song, then he will barf up his new color onto the Solomon shell. And there you go, that's the Count, which is a pretty bitchin' looking one. I like the Count quite a bit. I'm kind of a fan of red as it is, but I think it looks great on the Solomon skin. I'm interested to see what some of the other shades that I haven't discovered look like, and how to get them, because I have a feeling that it's not just feeding this frog. There's only so much food in the game, so I'm not exactly sure what the rest of the skins are. Here's a little bit of the photo mode. I could show you around a little bit on that. I didn't go in too much depth on this video on photo mode. I'm sure if you have the game, you can get in there, mess around with it, see what you like. It's got all kind of the same typical stuff. Nothing that I saw in there that was, you know, it was super different than any other photo modes. It's been kind of a popular feature lately on people putting in free DLC later on, but you're able to adjust the colors and things and kind of get it to look pretty nice. And I don't know, I think it turned out pretty well. And I'm really happy that there's a new update for Mortal Shell. If you are as well and you're excited about this update, let me know in the comments below. And if you could like and subscribe to this video, I'd really appreciate it. Everyone have a great day and enjoy the rest of autumn.